Here's a look at the International Centre in Toronto, Canada from this past weekend, Saturday and Sunday, February 8th and 9th. It's time now for a special extended edition of NASCAR in 5 from the Canadian Motorsports Expo, which is presented by Inside Track Motorsports News. Hello everyone, welcome to NASCAR in 5. I'm Bryce Turner. Here's a look at what's coming up. Later on NASCAR in 5, Cup Series driver Ryan Newman, NASCAR Canadian Tire Series director Alex Nagy, Jeff Gordon's stepfather John Bickford, and more. But first, Greg and Brad from Michigan International Speedway. I'm here at the Michigan International Speedway booth, which will host 2 Cup races this year, Michigan International Speedway. This is the actual trophy. And I'm here with Brad Kubander. And tell me about the promotions you have going on in Michigan this year.
We have a lot of great things going on at Michigan this coming season. Different ticket packages. We like to people come out and have a good time. We have a Danica Patrick ticket package. We come out, you get to meet Danica in a special Q&A. You get special privileges. Jimmy Johnson ticket package. And even people who want to come out to camp have a special camping package. You get us staying out there. You get a camping spot. You get 4 tickets each day. So it's a really great experience.
There's a lot going on at Michigan with their Summerfest and popular drivers too, Jimmy and Danica. And Dale Earnhardt Jr., he won at the track, a year or 2 ago. Yeah, a couple years ago. And he did pretty good at Michigan.
Right, his last 2 wins have actually come at Michigan, which is something we like claim to. His last win was there in 2012 at the Father's Day weekend, and he held up a trophy that looked similar to this. It wasn't the exact one, but it was similar to this.
All right, thank you for speaking with me.
No problem.
I'm here with Greg Bardash now, and tell me about what are the best seats in the house in Michigan?
Really, there isn't a bad seat in the house. We have all of our grandstand seating along the front stretch from turn 4 into turn 1. So it just depends on what type of experience you want. If you want to see everything in the pits, obviously then you want to be more towards the center grandstand and into turn 4. But if you want to see backstretch without anything in your way and then all the way coming around off pit out, yeah, you're going to want to go turn 1. So it's really up to you, whatever kind of floats your boat.
Yeah, so a lot of good seats for sure at Michigan. Thanks for speaking with me.
Absolutely, it's nice to meet you.
Still ahead, international competition liaison Joe Bellish, Ryan Newman, driver of the number 31 Chevy, John Bickford of Jeff Gordon Incorporated, and more. But first, Alex Nagy. I'm here now with Alex Nagy, the series director of the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series in the series official hauler. Tell me about this hauler.
This hauler that we're standing in right now is really our headquarters when we travel to all the different venues all the way across the country, and our officials work out of here. They have their own personal lockers, and up top in the cupboards and in the drawers here we keep all our officials' tools. Up top we have our big equipment, templates and things like that that use the inspection process. So they'll pull this in, start unloading and set up the day before the event, and we're good to go.
Tell me about the series this year. How many races are there?
It's 11 races. We go as far west as Edmonton, Saskatoon, and then all the way across Ontario, Quebec, and then Nova Scotia and the East Coast.
There should be some great racing as well. Drivers like Jared Fitzpatrick, Scott Steckley. Who do you think looks good going into the season?
Well, those 2 guys you mentioned, JR and Scott, they're always going to be a threat. DJ Pennington. We have Alex Nagy coming from IndyCars that announced his program yesterday. They're going to be a threat whenever they race. Andrew Ranger's back full time with the Mopar cars. So I wouldn't want to pick it, and it's going to be exciting for our fans.
And Alex Nagy, definitely a big name driver. Would you mind giving me a quick run through of the hauler?
Absolutely, let's do it. So as I said, we'll keep inspection forms. For example, a lot of our paperwork, things our officials will use to do our inspections. We record everything, document everything. And up here we have our fuel testing. Here is just Jeff, our technical director's locker, and some equipment that we'll use to verify different pieces on the cars. All down through here, you can see we have flags where we rope off our areas, battery charger, work lights if it gets dark. Right here, our truck driver also serves as our cook, so he keeps some of his supplies here, and then on race days we get fresh supplies. And he has a barbecue that sits up top. He'll bring it out and cook for our crew, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, depending on how long their days are. We'll keep drinks here for our travels, and then we have a big cooler that rolls out outside to keep our officials hydrated throughout the hot summer days. And then you can see here where their name, where officials have their names on their individual lockers, like I had indicated, and then 2 banks of drawers where we keep our small hand tools, inspection tools. More things here. This is probably empty right now, but during the summer, of course, this will be full of decals for our contingency program. And so if drivers are short, if they renew their cars, they need them. And then on this side here, this is where we'll store the cold drinks. In the summertime, of course, this will be full of Coca-Cola products, the official drink in NASCAR. And here we just have some health and first aid stuff. Sunblocks, obviously important. Work gloves so that they keep the grease and chemicals off their hands. Of course, first aid kit.
Mr. Stiers, I think Speedway, it's the show on Friday night.
Here we have tech samples. So a tech sample is, for example, we'll have a set of pistons here, intake manifolds. So if there's ever any doubt on something that we inspect, we'll pull the original product out and set it there. Correct. Yep. Inspection tools all the way down, your jet all the way down through, and then this ladder goes up top, and that's where we keep our big items. Across here, anything that we need printed, of course. We have a logistics fellow that, you know, when we go to an event, we have all our parking spots for all our haulers are all preset. If it changes, he'll print some new documents. If we have information to get up to the teams, he'll print it off and send it out.
Sort of like even the point standings after race.
Point standings after the race, results when we post them, all those certain things. And then if you come through here, this is my office.
A lot of space in this holler.
Yeah. So, you know, on race day, the day before a race, we set up my computer. My race director will set up here so he can get going if we have any guests throughout the weekend. Sponsors, people from NASCAR, Daytona, or Charlotte if they come visit us. So this is kind of the my mobile office.
Yeah, so that and all in pretty much to run the whole series, all in one hauler. Thank you very much, Alex Nagy, Series Director of the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series.
Thank you very much.
I'm here now with Joe Bellish, the International Competition Liaison for NASCAR. Tell me about the NASCAR European Series, because that's an serious.
Yeah, absolutely. The NASCAR Wheel and Euro Series has actually been NASCAR branded for 2 years now. They ran a couple of years before we got involved with them. It basically runs 6 weekends a year. Each weekend there are 2 races, and each car has to race 4 times during the weekend. They race in a lot of historic tracks. The season opener this year is going to be in Valencia, Spain. The next track they're going to go to is Brands Hatch in England. They're going to go to Nürburgring in Germany. Tours France, which is kind of a unique facility because it's the first time an oval track has been built in France for stock car racing. We're going to Le Mans for the series final, so that the series goes to a lot of really historic, history-laden tracks. NASCAR broadcasts in over 150 different countries right now, and the Euro Series really came about because of the passion for the race fans in Europe for American-style stock car racing. And so our partners over there saw that there was a niche for that, and they embraced what we were doing. And they invented the series and was lucky enough to get together with us to put the NASCAR brand on it.
Yes, that's definitely a good racing series. And you mentioned Le Mans there earlier with the big endurance races that there are definitely a lot of historic tracks. And what about the NASCAR? I think it is, what is it, the Toyota Mexico Series?
Yes, yeah, the NASCAR Toyota Mexico Series is a little more mature than the Wheel and Euro Series. They run 15 races a year. Their season opener is in Phoenix, and then all the rest of the races are within Mexico proper. And they run the whole length of the country of Mexico, from as far north as Chihuahua and as far south as Tuxtla, to about 150 miles north of Guatemala.
Talking about history before, I read in a book that Bill France in the 1950s ran with some other guys in endurance races throughout Africa.
Yes, the Pan American race is actually still being held in Mexico. But yes, Bill France was part of that race. It was a lot tougher back then. And what they've done with that race is they've continued to run it with the older style body styles. So you can run a Studebaker or an old 57 Chevy, but they have new sprint car technology underneath the car. Sprint car chassis and engines, and they run almost 200 miles an hour on the streets of Mexico.
So racing definitely big in Mexico as well, and you're working for the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, so I've been speaking to Alex Nagy before, and you could comment a bit on that as well. Just in general, the international competition liaison, what is that job?
Well, what I do is I work with all our current international series and also work on the development of new series around the world. And I'm like the key point of contact between NASCAR and our partners around the world. And I consult with them on operations, on how to run the events. We consult with them on how to build racetracks. I've been involved with that. And I also consult with them on the rules to keep their rules kind of standardized with all of the NASCAR Touring Series.
And then are there any other different areas that NASCAR is looking into starting a series at? I know back in 1998 they had an exhibition race in Japan, the main NASCAR.
Yes, so what we're doing is we're keeping an eye out for opportunity all over the world. We're not actively seeking to say, hey, we need to be here, but what we're doing is we get calls all the time from people all over the world that want to be part of NASCAR. And what we do is when we get those calls, we do all the research we can. We have this big vetting process where we look at everything and decide whether they're the right partner to work with. You know, for example, last year we got over 20 calls from China, we get calls from Russia, we get calls from South America, we get calls from South Africa. So we're getting calls all the time, but we have to find the right partners because we want to make sure that we protect the brand, and as we grow the sport, we grow it in the right way.
Yeah, that runs smoothly. Thanks for speaking with me.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you. Later on the show, Ryan Newman, who won last year's Brickyard 400, sports car driver Kyle Marcelli, Dave Vanderbilt of Havbus Racing Tours, and more. But first, John Bickford, and NASCAR 5 would like to apologize about audio interference in the following interview. A transcription of the interview is available under this video's info. I'm here now with John Bickford, Vice President and General Manager of Jeff Gordon Incorporated, and he's also Jeff's stepfather. Now, John, in what way are you and Jeff working with the Canadian Motor Speedway?
Well, Jeff is actually the design piece of the Speedway, so he wants to make sure that the quality of the track we can side by side, a small, high entertainment, high value, something that the drivers like. So we get something the fans like, the drivers like, we're going to have great racing. That's why Jeff's involved.
Perfect mixture indeed. And with support from Jeff Gordon and many race fans, do you think Canadian Motor Speedway will host a cup race in its first year of competition?
Absolutely not. That will likely never happen up here because just the way the cup program works. It would take some very unique situations. I think in the first year you're going to see smaller series, like the Canadian Tire Series, something like that on the track. We will likely see other small series races. It'll break the track in that way. And if you look back at other tracks, Iowa Speedway, Las Vegas, we'll follow a similar
happening now.
And we would hope that
Signing autographs
national travel
in the glory days
of major sanctioning bodies will arrive here within the second or
Bill Brad is signing autographs
but you never
in the
know. We're
glory
working
days.
towards all that.
So sort of like Kentucky Speedway, work its way up there. Because they've got a cup race, but hopefully sooner we'll get one here.
Absolutely. Well, you have to study how Kentucky Speedway acquired their cup race. They weren't issued a cup race. They actually bought a track and moved the race, so the race from Atlanta moved to Kentucky because the track is owned by Speedway Motorsports Incorporated. So this track is unique. It's an independently owned facility here in Canada, but we are building a product where they want to come. So sanctioning bodies want to race first-class race tickets. There are first-class fans. I think we have all that here.
And what about the race season? Are you looking forward to 2014?
Again, Canadian Motorsport Hall of Fame
The race season
member
is going to be unique.
Bill Brett is signing autographs in the glory days.
And I think 214 with this new qualifying, the 2-point system, I think it's going to be exciting.
And what are your thoughts on the new chase format?
Private meet and greet beginning at 12:15 in Seminar
It
Room
puts a little more emphasis on
at
winning
Aviation
than
Room
I think
B.
better than what we're trying to
If you have a
do.
ticket
So
to see
I think
Ryan
it's fair to
Newman,
everyone. It's new, it's
please come
different.
to Aviation
New and
Room
different.
B.
Often creates
There are still tickets for sale, which have been
a
discounted.
little early.
So if you're interested
I've got
in
to
this
ask, what do you think of this new
once-in-a-lifetime
paint scheme with
opportunity,
Exalta for the
please come to
24?
the ticket booth
Well, I think
and you can purchase your tickets to see
represents
Ryan
the cars
Newman
that Jeff drove in
in a
1980.
private meet and greet beginning at
Jeff said the
12:15.
other day that this is his most favorite paint scheme in a long time because he likes the black with flames. When he was 8 years old, he had a car with black with flames. So this kind of brings back memory of days when he had one of his most exciting ornaments. So I think we might see a little bit more energy out of Jeff just because he's driving a cool car.
All right, Jeff, for championship this year, definitely. Thanks for speaking with me.
Thank you.
I'm here now with Sprint Cup Series driver Ryan Newman. And Ryan, do you feel any pressure to perform in your first year with a new team?
Well, there's always the will to perform. I don't think it necessarily makes the need for any kind of pressure. You can have internal pressure and you can have external pressure, but neither of them are good in my opinion. You should just have the desire to go out and win.
All right. And what are your goals for this season?
I try to. I want to make sure. No, I see the goals. I was just trying to figure out if he was plugged in or not. Oh no, you're plugged in. I know.
It's just a problem now. Now they know my secret.
What are my goals for this season? Yeah. Really just to have some fun. And usually when you have fun, you're winning races, winning holes, and performing well. So the ultimate goal is to have fun and win a championship. But there's several different ways of having fun.
Yeah. And then, what are your thoughts on the new chase format?
I don't think the new chase format is going to change a whole lot of things, except for the perspective of who's in contention towards the end. I think the last race is the biggest change because the people that are getting eliminated were pretty much eliminated from a chance to win the championship before that. So I don't think it's going to be that big a deal.
All right, and one more question. What is your favorite track to race on?
My favorite track is Darlington. It was more fun when it was old Darlington versus new Darlington, but it's still a lot of fun. It's the most challenging track to go to.
Yeah, so you'll be excited for the Southern 500. Ryan Newman, driver of the number 31 Chevy, thanks for speaking with me.
Thank you, buddy.
I'm here at the Canadian Tire booth where you can see the championship trophy and the 2013 champion, that's last year champion, Scott Steckley from Milverton, Ontario. So they have the championship trophy for the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series here in the booth. And another thing as well, they have the card of Scott Steckley himself, who won the championship last year. So you can come around here to number 22, and Steckley will be one of the drivers again this upcoming season in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. I'm here at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park booth where you can see the 2014 major event schedule, including the Victoria Day Speed Fest weekend. That's a big event. Historic Grand Prix here as well, Canadian Historic Grand Prix, Sports Car Grand Prix, Superbike Doubleheader Weekend, and Chevrolet Silverado 250. That's the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series race that's going to be here. And also at the booth is the number 17 car of DJ Pennington, another driver in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. I'm here now with Kyle Marcelli, who drove for Starworks Motorsports in the number 8 in the Rolex 24 at Daytona. How was that race? It was a prestigious event.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. For me, it was actually my debut at Daytona. I've been a part of the American Le Mans Series since 2010 time, and Daytona's never been on the schedule for us. The longest event is always the Sebring 12 hours. So Daytona was really exciting and really interesting for me. I learned a lot. Overall, we were very quick. We were in the top 3 for just about the whole race, actually. And to make a long story short, I was in the car from about 9 in the morning until noon, so just nearing the end of the race. We were in second place. We had a full lap up on third place, and we're only about 8 or 10 seconds away from the lead. And our engine blew up and started to fire in the car, and so our race was over. Up until that was waiting again. 22 hours.
Are you going to be racing in other events in the new Tudor United Sports Car Series?
I will be, yeah. Right now I have an endurance role with Star Wars Motorsports, so I'll be in, I was in at Daytona, I'll be in at Sebring, I'll be at Watkins Glen, and I'll be in at the finale at Petit Le Mans. I also will be racing Porsche in the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge. That season there, sorry, that deal is a full season, so I'll have 12 races in that. Right now, 4 races in the prototype.
And you're from right here in Canada as well, so for Canadians that you're on.
I am, yeah, Barrie, Ontario.
There you go. You ever raced at Barrie Speedway?
I've not, no. I might be there this year though. A friend of mine, J.R. Fitzpatrick, he reached out to me a few weeks ago asking if I was interested in a late model races. So I'm going to tell him I'd like to do it at Barrie.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for speaking with me.
Pleasure, thank you.
I'm here now with Dave Vanderbilt from Have Bus Racing Tours, which tours to some of the NASCAR races, and tell me a little bit about this racing tour.
Okay, well, this is basically the way we like to take people to the races. Okay, we found that it's a lot more comfortable than your average gray coach. Okay, as you can see, we have tables and couches, which turn into beds at night time when we're traveling. Okay, that way the people are getting into bed while we're traveling down the road at night, and when we wake up at the hotel, they're all rested and ready to go to the races, and they're happy. It's all of our packages include your hotel, transportation on this bus, which gets you there safely. All the buses come with 2 drivers and a crew chief to tend to all your needs. Tailgate parties, hotels, tickets to all the races. It's all included.
And you toured the different NASCAR races. Any other series or just NASCAR?
Right now it's mainly NASCAR. Okay, we do some dirt tracks here in Canada. Down to Eldora for Tony Stewart's race.
That's in
We
Ohio.
we used to go down to some NHRA races, but we never got enough people to go, so we're not doing them anymore.
Yeah, but still NASCAR definitely very popular, and it's good to have a touring series that's tailored to NASCAR. So what about the different package deals and stuff?
Well, we've got a number of them. This year we have 16 different packages that we're doing. We have several fly-in tours which are going to the races out west. One of which is right after Daytona, where they do Phoenix, stay for the week and tour the Grand Canyon, and then go to Vegas and catch the race there the following weekend, and then they fly back. So we've got the bus and the flying ones all
and even
covered.
The bus, I'd like to point out, plenty of things to do. They have a TV going on here, a TV screen with different video, and you get satellite TV and stuff and everything to watch some of the coverage leading up in the week.
Yes, and we do have the satellite TV. We also watch Speed Vision, all that on the way down if we want that. It's all covered. You're ready to go once you pay to get on this trip. It's all included.
Definitely looks like an amazing experience. Where can people find more information?
Havebus.com.
All right, thank you very much for speaking with me.
No problem, thank you.
The next NASCAR 5 will be posted this Friday, February 14th, and will include a Speed Weeks preview, the latest NASCAR news, and more. That's Friday on NASCAR 5. Meanwhile, back at the CME, the king of NASCAR was another star at the show. 7-time Cup champion Richard Petty took part in a Q&A, then signed autographs for those in attendance at the expo. Unfortunately, due to time constraints with his appearance, I was not able to interview him for NASCAR 5, but he was a welcome guest at the CME. Thanks for watching this special extended edition of NASCAR 5 from the Canadian Motorsports Expo. Reminder that another new episode of the show will be posted this Friday. I'll see you then. Have a great week.